Cases when a person is on the verge of death by a stupid accident are not uncommon. I wish you never to repeat the mistakes of the heroes of these videos. Let's go.
You will never get into such a situation because I wish you good luck.
A close-up when shooting undoubtedly always makes an impression, but is it worth risking your own life for the sake of cool shots? That's another question. I wonder if farmers receive at least some salary allowances or any other incentives due to their extremely dangerous and unpredictable work. Viewers of the American TV channel almost witnessed a tragedy live. Two cars collided behind the reporter Alex Savage. Toyota pulled over and almost hit the journalist, who was calmly doing his job. According to the police, a woman driving a Toyota confused the gas with the brake when another car was in her way when turning. This guy could easily star in some cool Hollywood movie. Or maybe he really decided to rehearse the role without stuntmen. Honing your skills and trying new tricks on a skateboard next to the road is not a good idea. Seriously, don't ever do that. This guy probably won't repeat his mistake either. Although we will not deny that he was just incredibly lucky. Everything could have ended much more sadly if the man had passed in the same place just a few seconds later. The driver of the car is waiting for a merciless surprise when he returns to the parking place of his own vehicle. I don't envy him. Sometimes amazing luck gets on the video completely by accident, for example, thanks to the car DVR. So one of the devices captured a deputy sheriff of Becker County in Minnesota when he was talking to the driver of a stopped car. In general, he was just doing his job when this happened. But the most impressive thing is not the luck of the policeman and not even the speed of reaction, but the fact that he warned the driver of the stopped car and he managed to close the door in time. It really saved the car. If you think there is nothing worse than being left alone with a bear in the forest, then this is not so. You are also unlikely to like the company with the brutalized moose. My heart stopped for a moment. Real luck, what else can you say? There are situations when drivers are wondering whether to go on this road, under this bridge or on this bridge. Well, in this case the truck was clearly too heavy for the wooden structure, but note that the driver still managed to jump out of the cab at the very last moment. The guardian angel of this man was clearly not spitting at the ceiling, but was doing his job responsibly. It's a rare piece of luck, I'll tell you, to see a huge whale in such close proximity, and even posing in front of you in all its glory. Let's hope very much that the train still managed to get off on other tracks, otherwise the collision could have led to terrible consequences. There are situations when absolutely everything goes wrong and the garage door falls on you. But the guy in the video seems to have been born under a lucky star. He not only managed to jump aside in time, but also tried to save the heavy structure by literally catching it. That's what self-confidence means. When going outside, do not forget to look around, otherwise you never know what kind of crazed moose will decide to take you down. This video was shot in South London, where the cutting of the tree clearly went wrong, or rather, everything turned out as the workers intended. The trunk fell, but a cyclist turned out to be right under it on the road. A very lucky cyclist. This guy decided to try to also deftly wave an electric wire like Indiana Jones did with a whip, but it seems something went wrong. The trick really turned out to be no less impressive. The ground under his feet literally caught fire. The incident occurred with a utility worker in New Jersey. Because of a strong hurricane at night, power lines broke down and transformers failed. The hero of our video was sent to fix the problem, and the whole area was de-energized in advance, but it didn't really help. Upon contact with wet asphalt, a short circuit occurred and the wire exploded in the guy's hands. Thanks to the protective suit, he got off with only a slight fright, although now he will have to eliminate the consequences of this small fire. You never know where the danger may come from. At an altitude of almost 4,000 meters, two planes collide. One of them catches fire in the air and crashes, but all participants in this collision remain alive. How is this possible? I agree, I didn't believe it at first either. This is a completely real case that happened with two teams of parachutists. While preparing for the jump, while the whole team was still inside, one of the pilots lost control, as a result of which two planes collided and an explosion occurred. Of course, all the parachutists jumped out immediately after the collision and landed safely. The pilot of the plane that caught fire had a rescue parachute, so he also jumped out of the cockpit without difficulty. But what about the second airplane, which lost one of the engines and half of the wing? His pilot showed skill and landed on the runway. I'm not exaggerating if I say that the plot is more like a James Bond movie. Let's just admit that all these guys were born in a shirt. On the roads, you should never lose vigilance. You never know what wild animal will decide to block your path, and even worse, will attack you. Surely even children know that it is impossible to drive through the intersection at a red traffic light, but some drivers stubbornly ignore this rule. Now I will show you that even Mother Nature can take up the education of such violators. Here a car with a DVR stops at a yellow flashing traffic light, and literally a second before turning on the red, streams of water break out of the ground, and a real barrier grows. The driver of the second car apparently was not going to stop at a red light, for which he was immediately punished. If the author of the video had slowed down a little later, he would also have become a victim of this urban volcano. In general, there is another reason to always follow the rules of the road. You probably know that bears can reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour. Hardly anyone would want to check this information in practice, but one man from Romania still managed it. He was calmly riding on his favorite slope when suddenly a clubfoot came out of the forest and began to chase the tourist. Despite the fact that the bear did not have skis, he was not at all inferior in speed to a man, and even on the contrary gradually caught up with him. One small bump could have been fatal, but it seems that luck was on the man's side that day. Realizing that the slope would end soon, the skier made the only right decision, left his backpack on the mountain so that the animal would stop chasing him. According to eyewitnesses, the foresters did not manage to catch the bear because he escaped into the forest in advance. It turns out that in order to make the descent extremely dangerous, it is not necessary to go to the most difficult mountain trails. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your like and write in the comments which video you liked the most. See you soon. Peace.